Hello and welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to the channel, and I've got two supers in front of me that I've taken off my beehives, and I'm going to be extracting the honey from these. But before I do that, I just wanted to say a big thank you to my cousin Claire for bringing her daughter Izzy along for me to show her a beehive. She's doing a project at school all about bees, and you know, when you've got a cousin who happens to be a beekeeper, it's great to get the kids along, involved, to have a look at what goes on inside a hive. And it's always a bit fascinating, I think, for people who've never looked inside a hive. And she had a bee suit on, stood next to me at the hive, and was enthralled by what she saw. Anyway, take a look at the video, see what you think.
Why do you need the smoker?
So what the smoke does, Izzy, is it makes the bees think that there's a fire and that they might need to move house. So what they'll do is they'll go and gorge themselves on honey. So we always get the smoker going first, and we might give them a puff of smoke, and it calms them down a little bit. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, so let's take the lid off the hive. So the lid comes off, and we'll put that down on the floor. And then we'll just take, this is known as the crown board, and that comes off. And there's the bees on the frame.
Oh.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Now I can shake those bees off. Do you want to hold that?
Yeah.
There you go. And that is a super frame. Hold it by the pegs at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. And that way you don't damage the comb.
Yeah.
That's looking great. Hold it up for the camera. Yay, look at you in your bee suit and everything. Right, this is called a super, and this is where the bees store their honey. But the bees actually live underneath this. So because they're not filling this up at the moment, I mean, if you look at this, it's got nothing in it. Okay.
Yeah. Do they like sleep in there too?
They do. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to leave it off, because I don't think the bees are doing anything with it. And if you look under that, can you see that there's loads of bees there?
Yeah.
Right. So this thing here is called a queen excluder.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that stops the queen coming up and laying eggs in where you want the honey.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, oh, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, hold that and just give it a puff. I'll hold it at the bottom and we'll bring it over to the bees like that, and we'll give them a puff. So do you want to squeeze that? That's it. And again. Okay, that's enough. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear them go?
Yeah.
That's because bees don't usually like smoke. So we always check the back of the queen excluder to make sure there's no queen on there, and she's not on there, which is good. What do you think of that, Izzy? So I'm going to show you that on camera so you can see it.
Wow.
And can you see here? That is all honey.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's get the camera on that. So that is all honey there.
Mhm.
And they store it so that they can eat it later when when there's not much around. So I can't see the queen on this one. Well, we're not taking honey from this hive, but I do have some honey here I am taking, and you can see the frames here. Some are partially filled, some are completely filled, and I'm uncapping the honey before it goes into the centrifuge. And when this goes in here, we'll spin it very fast, and this is a manual spinning centrifuge, so I do it all by hand, and that spins, and that allows the honey to fall on the outside rim of the centrifuge, and then that drips down to the bottom where it collects, and you can see that there. And here I am spinning it like mad, and it is quite hard work. And once it's all collected in the base, we open the valve, pass it through a filter, and before we bottle it, we allow it to settle so that all the bits that we don't want float to the surface. And all those wax cappings you see that came off, we melt those down, pour them into a mould, and we have ourselves a fantastic beeswax. Well, there you go. So, we know bees make honey, but they also lay eggs as well, or the queen does.
Yeah.
And can you see all that there? This bit here in the centre,
Yeah.
that's all brood.
What's brood?
Brood are like baby bees.
Oh.
So they lay the eggs in these little cells here,
Yeah.
and then when it grows into a larvae and a pupae, they cap it.
Oh.
And then a bee will emerge out of there in about 26 days.
Oh.
And I'm just looking to see if I can find the queen. But they're all busily eating that honey.
The queen, like the biggest bee.
And I'm going to freeze frame here for just a second because the queen is right in the centre of that red circle. How lucky was that? Second frame out the hive and we have the queen. She is. There she is, look. Can you see the queen there?
Oh yeah.
Can you see how big she is?
Yeah.
There she is. There.
Wow.
That's the queen. You've actually seen the queen bee. Let's get her on camera so we can say, there's the queen, everybody. There she is. Oh, she's just crawled through there. I think she's hiding. No, there she is. There. Having a look around. You can see she's got a nice long body.
Yeah.
Well, she goes around laying eggs.
Is there another layer or is that it?
Let me have a look. So there's only one queen in a hive,
Yeah.
and there's a good sign. So they're quite well behaved, these bees, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there's a brood there. So if you come and have a look at that, that is all eggs that are being laid, and that's going to be new bees emerging. And a bee takes about 21 days.
Oh. Yeah, I learnt about that I did a play about bees.
Ah,
I learnt about their eggs.
there we go. There you are. Can you see in that one, if you look carefully, there's a little white speck in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
That's actually a larva. So the queen lays an egg in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that then grows because they feed it with pollen and honey,
Oh.
and that's called what they call bee bread. Funny name, isn't it? Bee bread.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put a feeder on here. So if you step back with me, I'll just put this on for now.
So I'll step back.
Yeah, step back with me.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just need to put it over this hole here.
Yeah.
Do you want to come and do that? No? Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop that on there so that the bees can have that. Now I can't put the lid on while it's like that. So what I need to do is pop this on here like that. And then I might just put the queen excluder on there. Shake those bees off there. Oh, we'll put this on double quick. Everything's made up of layers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we'll just pop that on top like that. And then what we'll do is bang the camera. We'll put the lid on. And that is our inspection. And because this has got some bees on it, what I'm going to do with these, I'm just going to leave these bees around the front there, and they'll all climb back in. So do you want to have one last look around the front? see what they're doing?
Oh yeah, they're like coming in and then,
Yeah.
and then they're all at the front, like.
So, in bee society, right, you have different types of bees. So we have what's known as nurse bees, and they're usually the youngest bees,
Yeah.
and they look after all the new hatchlings.
Oh, yeah.
And then you
so
have, when the bees get slightly older,
Yeah.
they start to forage,
Oh.
and they go and get the nectar and the pollen and bring it
Yeah.
back to the hive. And if you watch very carefully, you'll see a bee fly off into the distance, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw.
Yeah, and they just
Yeah.
disappear into the distance, and they'll be gone for about an hour, and they'll visit loads and loads and loads of different flowers, and they'll collect all the pollen and the nectar. They'll store the nectar and turn it into honey,
Yeah.
and all the pollen they pack down, and they mix that pollen with honey, and they feed it to the young bees.
Oh.
Here we go.
I think I've learned quite a lot today.
Right, we've got a pose for the camera. Yes. Well, hi. This is how I managed to get the bees into my front garden. I put a strap around them and stuck them in the back of the van. So I'm actually now just putting them back where they belong, and I'll show you how I do that. Got to plonk them down nice and carefully. Try and get them exactly where they were when they were last here. Not that it matters too much, because they will try and orientate themselves. Right, let's take this old ratchet strap off. Meantime, let's get this on here. Last job is to take off the tape, keeping them in. There we go. They're free to have a little fly around now. Look, they're all coming out. Let's get in close and have a look at them. And they're going to be thinking, oh hello, I think we're back here now. So they'll be flying around. They'll be flying around now, checking out the locale, making sure they're all reorientated, and by tomorrow it'll be as if they'd never moved. There we go. Well, I hope you liked the video. If you want to see more like that, then please do click the bell icon, do give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.